Hello ladies and gentlemen, SeKo Starcraft back, bringing you some games from the recent Dreamhack Championship. We have ourselves Team Liquid Taeja in the bottom right versus Acer's Innovation in the top left. Two of the best Terrans to ever grace Starcraft 2. This is from the earlier group stages, so it is a best of 3 that is happening here. And on whatever the heck this map is called. It don't matter that much to me. It's on a nice brisk Saturday morning. I'm sitting actually in a house coat having some caffeine because Beercraft will not be in action at least till afternoon, so I can respect myself more. But caffeine should be good for now. They have amp energy drinks on at the dollar store, so stocked up a little bit. That's just who I am. We see that Innovation has no problem with avoiding a wall off. Taeja, on the other hand, is going to wall off. And a bit of debate about this. I'm a fan of not walling off, but we can see that there's a lot of reasons to do that. If you want to deny scouting, if you want to not have to worry about Hellion run-bys, there's some really funky Hellion strategies you can do, particularly on this map. I saw Bomber School Flash on this map, essentially doing that exact build. Very interesting. We do have a gas that looks like it went down shortly after the barracks. Slightly ahead of Taeja's gas. So we'll see if this is for anything of maybe just a Reaper, or, which is super popular right now, going into a Banshee play, just because of how much map control it really gives you. Terran versus Terran, the Banshee play doesn't seem like it's as effective, but in the early games, even if there's only like 5 or 6 Marines out, you essentially two-shot those Marines, two-shot the workers, control a lot of the map, and you force them to really build out a lot of tech to defend against it. You need to get out that Viking, you gotta waste scans, you might have to get missile turrets, but even then, missile turrets are such a sloppy defensive tactic because they cover such a short area. They might protect your mineral line to a certain extent, but they're not going to protect your units out in front of your base or anything like that. We do have a scout from Taeja. He's going to be able to walk right in here from the looks of it. Reaper will be coming out on the other side, and he should be able to know that that is coming. I'm actually going to complete a wall off here, so one of these is planning on hiding some tech. He's only got one gas going down at the moment, and a Reaper more than likely will be able to see everything. Now what did... It looks like Taeja saw essentially everything that this should be coming out of here. And on this side, we're just going to get a very, very easy expansion down for Innovation. That Reaper protects you from essentially everything other than more Reapers from your opponent. So, that should be able to keep it going just fine. Let's follow this Reaper and see what he gets done and what he sees. Oh, doesn't quite get that SCV. Very, very nice hold there by Taeja to keep it alive. Actually got about half the damage down onto this here Reaper. And I'm sure he's okay with just making sure that expansion doesn't go down, but he's probably going to heal up and then try to sneak into the base somehow. Just so that way he can get a better understanding of what's going on. You'll make more money off of using a mule call down than by necessarily wasting a Reaper. 2 Reapers now. Changes things slightly. It's a bit of an investment. We'll see if he's managed to actually get into the base here. We can see in the production tab as we're watching this that there is going to be Banshee play out of Taeja. Partly why I guess he walled off to prevent the scout. And on the other side we just have the macro. The factory's not even completely finished yet out of Innovation. We'll go back to everybody's camp. Looks like these Reapers are just going to be there to deny a bit of vision. Command Center is obviously much later for Taeja here. But that's a trade-off you get with going the version of attack. If you hear some noises in the background, we're doing baking at my house here today, and that's just because it's Christmas. So Christmas baking happening on the back end. The lady is in there doing up some goodies. Cloak is on the way as well, getting down a... Well, Widow Mine is a nice little unit you can just have just about anywhere. It's almost always going to be worthwhile. We actually have Hellions out on the map. The Hellions with the Reapers might actually be able to get a little bit of damage in here. Particularly if they can move in here at the same time as these Reapers. Not a lot of units out here right now. When the Widow Mine gets down, it'll help a whole bunch. But until then, it's not really going to be able to help out too much against these Hellions. Is he going to get it? No. Very close though, however. Oh, that's a little bit of bad control there from Innovation. Maybe expected them to path over the top, but they just happened to run right into that Widow Mine. Actually, a lot of Hellions out on the map right now. Where is that Banshee? There's that Banshee. Alright, it sounds like the engine is off on the KitchenAid mixer. There's nothing really to defend against this Banshee coming in. Killing mules is still very worthwhile. They bring in so much money. Looks like a Viking is about to pop. Cloak is already finished. There's a Raven on the way. Missile turret going down. Doesn't look... There's almost enough energy, yeah. And you'll get outside of range. And he's already cost quite a bit of money. Killed 2 mules. Used up 2 scans. Got in a pretty good amount of damage there. 9 kills. Corporal Banshee. Raven will be out here in just a second. Second Banshee's already in play. And I don't know if these are necessarily going to work out super huge. Let's look at the units tab. We're going to see that from a sense of a lead from workers, there really isn't a big one at all right now from Innovation. And he actually got himself cost quite a bit. Is he going to shoot that guy in the face? Got a little bit of shots in the face. This is a nice little push out here. I think this is a pretty funky little timing. He's trying to disguise it, the numbers that are coming down. And he actually will get away with not being able to see anything. Now, we'll see. This is a lot of Reapers, and not Reapers, a lot of Hellions in position here. They might be able to take on this piece of the army. Microing back to hurt Banshees. Actually a lot of damage onto these Banshees here. Tank in position, has a little bit of vision up here, and there's actually a Banshee out now for Innovation as well. We'll see if he actually just wants to run it around to do a little bit of harass. I don't know if that was spotted or not. 2 tanks in position. He's just going to start leapfrogging. There's no tanks up here for Innovation. Lots of Hellions. It'd been nice to have something, maybe one worker come across the map just to be able to do a little bit more repairs here. He is going to pull the workers. It's very important he busts this contain down. These tanks are going to cause so much trouble, but this is so much damage. It'd be nice for him to snipe this here Raven if that's something that he recognized. He is actually going to be able to stabilize here for a moment. But that was a lot of damage that went in. And this cloak now finished up for our buddy Innovation. So we should be able to clean this all up, and we can see the units are returning home. Look at the resources killed, 12 workers killed. So we're getting a good chunk of lead here for Taeja, and he's already got his 3rd CC almost finished. A 1 kill on this missile turret, so it looks like a very sloppy play from Innovation through a Banshee, essentially right into that missile turret there. Innovation's Banshee got 4 kills on it, but is going to get driven away by that Viking. That air control is such an interesting battle for Terran versus Terran, because you really do want that, because it allows you to obviously get a lot more vision, control a lot more of the map. But it's a very expensive thing to commit into. It's not like landed Vikings are going to do a ton for you. It's more of a desperation move. These Hellions have not really paid off at all for Innovation this game. It's a really fun kind of play. Back in the day, before Heart of the Swarm, you used to see massive Hellion on Hellion battles in the Terran versus Terran matchup. Very cheap, get the blue flame upgrades, and it was all about how you micro the lines of your Reapers, of your Hellions against other Hellions. You want them to line up, and you want to be able to flank them and shoot them and cross attacks. It was a very interesting kind of game style. These Hellions are going to take a long time to get through those rocks. Upgrades rise. The blue flame is on the way. It is going to be a mech style out of our red Terran player here. Keeping ahead on them supply depots. But economy-wise, he doesn't have that next CC even started yet. He's just going to be putting it down on the low ground here. So he's going to be quite a ways behind in overall economy. We can see from units, Taeja really starting to pull away now. Almost up to 60 workers, and Innovation's not even at 50 yet. Nice little mix of tanks in there, and then he's just going straight into bio. Lots of production. The difficulty about going bio is you still need to commit some energy into making Vikings. Otherwise you get a lot of your medevacs sniped down, and that could be a pretty big problem. It's as though this one Viking just might do some scouting, might just try to go in there and see what's going on. There's obviously nothing that's going to be faster than it out on the air. He gets shot down pretty good. So a ton of these here Hellions out. A little bit of bad rally points from there. Now, as we can see, those medevacs getting pretty beat up from this play. Tanks are going to have to get into good position. I almost would have expected them to be a little bit further out, but without having that air control, these banshees are in a great position to get a lot of damage completed. You really do want to have that Viking count up here to deal with stuff like this. Otherwise, you can see these banshees are going to come in, try to get a few free snipes. You're going to get one tank here. There's so much energy on these right now that there's no real way that Taeja's going to be able to shut them down. Losing a few free units there, a little cheap. He's actually lost 3 tanks already, these banshees. They've done a great job. There's no Raven out here, so he's going to have to keep using scans. We see a really patient leapfrogging here out of the Terran player. Unfortunately, once these tanks go down, there's almost nothing that's going to stop these massive amounts of Blue Flame Hellions and just, you know, bum rushing through. One Thor is out and will help control a little bit of the land, but without any tanks up here, I'd expect him, yeah, to just keep pushing forward, keep getting that damage in. It's pretty funny to see Hellions take on a Thor, but it's a pretty calculated commitment here. Point defense drone goes down, it'll get used up pretty fast. A lot of Hellions are getting lost here, but ultimately this is more about controlling the production facilities, the ability for the blue Terran player to reinforce. It's very interesting. Taeja was ahead in this game, I would say, for quite a while. He was going for a base tradey counter. I don't know if he's going to be able to get up the ramp though, so he's only going to be able to get in so much damage here. Kind of expecting Taeja to GG out of this. There we go. I mean, he's doing what he can, but once that high ground is controlled by the tanks, there's really nothing that you can do about it. Really smart play by Innovation. Very impressive to see him just come in here and play just that tactical air battle I was talking about. Use the Vikings, control the air, and then come in with the Banshees and just essentially clean up all those tanks. Once the tanks are gone, it poses no problem to come back in there and do that damage. Game 1 goes to Innovation. Game 2 is coming right at you guys.